Hey everyone. Reasons that ghostwriting is fine. Ghostwriting is okay.
Rappers are entertainers.
Rappers are like any other artistic discipline out there now, especially as the genre has become an international music sensation. They are no different, in my opinion, than singers and songwriters of other breeds, who you have guys over the decades and decades of popular music like Elvis Presley, Frank Sinatra, Michael Jackson, all of whom, and many more, did not write some of their best songs or had co-writers on some of their best songs. And the thing is, that was not necessarily a bad thing, because they were also performers. They were also, sort of icons in their own right. I don't see rappers at this point, again, as any different. While hip-hop has had this requirement in the past for the story that the person is spitting to either be a lived story that they themselves experienced or know intimately secondhand from some other kind of source, or have at least written themselves. These days, I don't think that requirement needs to be placed onto rappers, especially in the mainstream, anymore. Of course, there are going to be rappers in the mainstream and in the underground as well who stick to telling their own story and writing their own lyrics, and that's totally fine. Original content is important, but I think, especially today, that there is room for both approaches.
It has been fine. It's been fine in the past.
My next point is that it's been fine. While ghostwriting is certainly a taboo in hip-hop right now, you mean to tell me throughout the entire history of the genre that there's never been a ghost-written lyric, there's never been a ghost-written verse, there's never been a one artist ghostwriting for another artist or something? I mean, in the NWA movie, you had Ice Cube being depicted as, because it was true, writing lyrics for other members of the group, and that was just fine, because ultimately, at the end of the day, all that mattered was that the song came out good. I don't get what this ridiculous requirement is doing to help the genre, if ultimately some very good songs out there are ghost-written songs, who, if we were to require and sort of, really kind of set a hard line rule against this in all circumstances, there are probably some really great songs and really great verses that we never would have heard.
It's good. Collaborating is good.
Moving on from there, collaboration is good. You cannot expect a rapper to long-term put out great, refreshing, exciting, cutting-edge music for decades and decades and decades if they don't reach outside of their comfort zone and get in touch with other artists, get influenced by other artists, take source material from other places, especially considering how much hip-hop is based on borrowing. Like, from its hooks, to its samples, to its instrumentals, to the interpolations that are placed into a lot of the songs, both old and new. Why is all that acceptable? As soon as it becomes about lyrics, it's like, whoa, hey, whoa, you really stepped over a line there. You stepped over a line borrowing those lyrics. You stepped over a line getting somebody else to write those lyrics for you. Those lyrics, they gotta come from you. They have to come from you. Now, the really awesome and amazing and immaculate jazz samples that are placed throughout the track, that are part of what truly make the song beautiful and musical and appealing and catchy, those can come from another place. But the lyrics, they gotta come from you. They gotta come from you. I get why this would have been a requirement if this was like 1988 or 1993. But it's not 1993. It's 2017.
Song quality is the most important thing.
Song quality ultimately is the most important thing. It's the most relevant thing. It's the most significant thing. Nothing is more significant than that. Song quality. Do people care about the song? Do people enjoy the song? Do people listen to the song? Do people buy the song? Is the song on the charts? Is the song influencing other artists? Is the song breaking new ground? A ghost-written song can do all of these things. A ghost-written song can be all of these things. So if ghostwriting doesn't necessarily lead to more mediocre music, then why is ghostwriting such a bad thing? You could make the argument that some of these rappers out there right now need a ghostwriter. We could maybe use a little bit more ghostwriting. Who the hell knows? And ghostwriting is not just simply writing a 16 for somebody to spit. It's also deciding what the flow is going to be, potentially writing a hook as well. So there's a lot to ghostwriting, and it's not like The idea of a ghostwriter or a rap songwriter behind the scenes, it's not like we don't have that in other genres of music. I mean, guys like Lou Reed, for example, came up in the music industry first, before the Velvet Underground and all that, as a songwriter. And you had guys back in the day who would work in these big record label buildings just writing songs for other people to perform, more popular, more famous artists who actually were out there on the stage.
It's not all about writing, it's also about performance and vision.
And finally, performance and vision are also significant when you're an artist. It's not just simply all about writing. Somebody can write you the most fantastic song, the most fantastic set of 16s, 2 verses in the world, but if you're not actually proficient at rapping, and you don't have the vision to finally turn that set of verses into a good song, working with a good producer, finalizing the track to the very end, and making sure that it ends up being a good musical product, then that person's writing is going to be for nothing. Because you have to actually be able to execute. That is something that requires ability. An artist, even if you are grabbing ghostwritten lyrics, you have to have the foresight to see those lyrics and know that those lyrics are good lyrics. Know that those lyrics are lyrics that you want to have in your song. Know that that hook that was written is a hook that you think actually pops. I mean, there are tons of artists out there, like Rihanna, for example. People are stumbling over themselves to write a song for Rihanna to sing, and she rejects tons of songs all the time. And I'm sure many other artists on her level do as well. And, you know, it's not just simply you're a pop artist or you're Drake and anybody who throws a song your way, you're like, yeah, I'll do that song. Yeah, that because, you know, I mean, it's being written for me, so why not? Because often when this ghostwriting is coming your way, it's not fully finished. It's a rough sketch of an idea. It's not a fully produced and a completed song. I've heard instances of producers sending artists who I've had contact with songs, and, you know, I've been sent this song, they want me to perform this, or they think that I would sound good on this song, or they think that I would sound good performing the song, and often the track that they've been sent sounds like shit. And that's because it's sort of a rough idea. They are going to take this idea and basically fully form it in the studio through the process of performing and honing it and discussing about what works and what doesn't, because you don't know whether or not that song, once you finally get that artist in the studio, is that going to play to their strengths? Is it going to be altered in some kind of way from the process of recording it to actually mixing it and balancing it, adding more sounds, taking sounds out? Tons of things can happen between these 2 points, from point A to point B. And you have to be a good artist with vision and taste to carry it out from this rough idea, whether this idea came from you or it came from someone else, to actually follow through and have it be a hit track that carries your career to the next level. So ghostwriting, overall, not a bad thing. And these are the 6 reasons, in my opinion, why. You're the best. Over here next to my head is another video. Check that out. And I'll see you guys in the next one forever. Yee!